Hey everyone, welcome to Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast. This podcast is all about farmers markets. Whether you're a farmers market manager or a small farmer or food maker selling at farmers markets, you have found just the right podcast.
I'm Kat Fields-White.
And I'm Bridget Myers. We're longtime farmers market managers, educators, and consultants. Get ready to catch up on all things farmers market pros with us. Today we're chatting about celebrating market milestones and all the best ways to do that.
Today's episode of Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast, is supported by Yifty, creating and managing custom gift cards for your whole market or your entire community. Yifty's community cards link your farmers markets and vendors to a single gift card to make it easier than ever to ensure people spend their money at local markets and shops. Set up your custom branded Yifty card in minutes at no cost to the market, vendors, or neighboring shops. For more information or to get your market card program started, click the Yifty logo on the resource page at farmersmarketpros.com.
Well, welcome back to Tent Talk, everybody. Today we are chatting about marking market milestones. Say that 3 times fast. We're marking the markets. We celebrated both a 15-year anniversary at our flagship farmers market and a 1-year anniversary at our newest market this month.
That was fun.
Yeah.
We had so much happening.
So much
every
going on.
week.
It was a party kind of season, I feel like.
It was.
Really, but yeah, it's been a busy month so far.
All the way through.
Yep.
So, started with the Little Italy Mercato, started in 2008.
Meaning you started it in 2008.
I did indeed.
Yes.
I needed groceries in my neighborhood. Entirely self-serving. Apparently, thousands of other people thought so too. Luckily.
I think that doesn't always work out every time. When you just want something in your neighborhood and you start it and everyone else hops on that train, sometimes it's just you out there, but it really worked out for you, I feel like.
Sometimes I think some of the biggest, greatest ideas started from a self-serving problem that other people have as well as you.
Worked out.
Anyway, I think with COVID, you talk about COVID years, that market's 20 years old.
I think so too. I love that. I think anyone whose market made it through COVID, you just add like dog years. You just add them on there.
That's right. Add dog years. That's right. 7 times. But 15's a big deal too.
Yeah.
And you, Bridget, made that celebration really, really special while I was running off to conferences and working on renewal permits and negotiating contracts and all that good stuff. The last couple of months, I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to just let this anniversary slide by. We have not paid attention. Nothing much fun is going to happen. What a bummer. We'll wait for the 20th. But you cooked up some pretty cool surprises.
Yes, it was a lot of fun, and I am really glad that I got something together because it was a little touch and go there for a little bit. Like you said, you were out of town, so I was covering everything. We were doing some big staff shifts and role shifting and just, I didn't know what I was going to get going, but I knew that Kat has always dreamed of a marching band marching down the middle of the market.
I have.
I feel like you've been talking about that since like the 3rd year of the market.
Like day one.
Yeah.
We had a little tiny drum group that marched through in the first year or two. That was cute.
Yeah.
Just once, just kind of randomly. They were sort of random traveling buskers that showed up, sort of a gypsy drum line.
Yes, it was a little pop-in drums.
But I'm kind of obsessed with marching bands. Do you know there's college marching band accounts on Instagram?
Oh
I follow all of those.
I'm sure you follow all. I'm sure your explore page is just a bunch of bands and drums.
A bunch of bands, yeah. Batala drum troops. That's how I found the realtor that helped me get my house.
Drums bring people together.
They do.
What you're saying.
You hear them and you follow them and magical things happen.
Well, it was a lot of fun. It was very hard to get a marching band to come out to the market. Surprisingly hard. I have tried before. I think for one of your milestone birthdays, I tried to get a marching band to come out to the market, maybe for the 10th anniversary. And tried as, I tried as hard as I could amidst other things that I was doing, but just calling around, trying to get bands. And it was either they were busy or they were traveling or they were really expensive, like really big bands.
Oh, the big bands are expensive. Yeah. I love those guys that we used to see at that conference in Portland, March 4th.
Oh, March 4th.
But they've kind of got bigger and more famous, I think, since that conference was able to pull them in, and they're probably pricey.
Too fancy for a little farmer's market.
That's right.
So I did tap my friend Pauline, who is just a wonderful, she helps out with the orchestra and the band at some local schools around here. Her kids are in band, and I just know her through our kids going to school together. And I said, Pauline, I really need some help. I need to get a marching band at the farmer's market for our 15-year anniversary. Kat has always wanted a band. And I just really have to give her all the props because she called a bunch of high schools and colleges and different band groups and was just giving me updates on who was turning it down or do I like this band or would this work? And we kind of worked together and found Hoover High School, which are so, so great. They ended up being available. Like like the problem was that school had already been
It was just
it was
letting
just
out.
it was just letting
Right.
out, and so the bands were all kinda wrapping up and the kids were all kinda scattering at this point, so that was what was hard, but Hoover High School came through, and the band director was so great, he was really easy to work with.
He was the sweetest.
He was so sweet, he just asked, like, "What do you wanna do? Where do you wanna start?" So I, told him where to start and to march all the way through the market, so
People were so excited.
yeah, it was really great. We gave a donation to their, like, band booster to help the band program, so that was obviously worth it and happy to do that and really excited to have them there, so, yeah, it was great. So we planned a marching band. This is stuff I'm all trying to keep secret from Kat. I got the vendors to, do a video recording message through Vidaday or something, some website that I found where you can, like, just you send a link out and you can record a little message of yourself. So it kinda spliced it all together. So
That's so cute.
that was really neat to see all the vendors saying, "Happy anniversary, Kat," and how much they love the Mercado and the little Mercado story. So that was fun. What else did we do? And then so I invited everyone out to come see the marching band, and I was keeping it a secret. So I let the board know, our board in our neighborhood, in the Little Italy neighborhood. Literally, the subject line of the email was, "Shh, don't tell Kat." And then I said, "Hey guys, I hope you come out and join us for the anniversary. We're having a marching band come. It's been a dream of Kat. She's gonna be so excited. It's a secret. Like, don't tell her, but come on down and you can see the band." So then the president of the board, and I hope that Steve listens to our podcast. I'm gonna put him on blast right now. He came out to the market in the morning and said, "Oh, happy anniversary." Kat shows up. He's like, "Oh, he's so excited for the band. When's the band coming?" Blew the secret out of the water, couldn't believe it. Luckily, he owns a coffee shop, my favorite coffee shop in Little Italy, and
Good
he said
thing.
I get coffee for life,
That's
so
right. All of us, I think. He went and he said, "I'm gonna go get coffee now."
so
Even though it
that's
wasn't
fun.
entirely a surprise,
Mm,
it was still amazing. I
it was so
mean, I
great.
could not have imagined how cute they were. They were so marching banded up
Yes.
in their uniforms, and they had xylophone, I think, and drums, and they were just so happy. They marched through once or twice, right? They went
Yeah.
marched back.
They marched back
Yeah.
all the way down to their bus.
They let me lead them for a few blocks.
So
It
cute.
was the cutest.
All the vendors loved it so much. I gave some of the vendors a heads up about it, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna have a marching band. Like, don't worry, they're not gonna stop in front of your booth and play because we have a problem with, like, buskers and musicians playing so loudly, and our vendors can't hear their customers, and it's like it's a
So getting them excited about music can sometimes be hard.
for sure." Yeah, so it's an ongoing saga, but they were all so excited to see the band. It was a little drizzly morning in
That's
San
right.
Diego, and so it gave the market, like, some great energy. Everyone was really excited, shoppers and vendors alike. It was great.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many videos out there. There's so
Yeah.
many people along the way standing in vendors' booths and taking the videos and laughing, and
Yeah,
everybody was having such a good time.
it was great.
That band was worth it. Let's do it every week.
I'm telling you.
And then you had some other stuff. Didn't you work with the board to get so the county did a proclamation and June 8th, I think, is now Little Italy Mercado Day in San
Yes.
Diego.
Yes, the
Forever and ever.
county supervisor, yeah, they did a, proclamation to make it Mercado Day. So that was really fun, and I think that, if you're talking to your county supervisor or other people,
Mayor,
in local
if you do a
politics,
city
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
they get real excited about that because it's something fun and, like, uplifting that they can do in the community when sometimes they're dealing with, complaints and stuff that's not going well. So, I mean, reach out to your local people and say, "Hey, we're having a big anniversary. Could you do a proclamation? Could you come out and you can do, ribbon cutting
Yeah.
or just a cheers or or ring a bell or something
Right.
fun." They love that stuff.
They do love that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a nice backdrop for them instead of always standing in front of, the latest disaster.
Yeah.
Standing in front of a pretty farmer's market and saying happy things. That's a nice break for a politician.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So definitely reach out. They were happy to do that. And then we had all the staff and some of the vendors. Kat is known for wearing mismatched earrings.
It's a
Kinda
defense thing because I always lose one. And so I set up an earring policy many years ago that I only wear mismatched earrings.
It's kind of her thing. So we all said we all wore mismatched earrings on the day, and we even have one male staffer,
Older
Denny,
gentleman.
elder gentleman. He's our little market host with the most, and one of our other staffs, Tristan, brought him some clip-on earrings, mismatched clip-on earrings, and he rocked those.
He did.
He was
Yeah.
happy to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it was
Little
hilarious.
kids at the market. Ooh, look at that man's earrings, Mom.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it was great.
That's
So
adorable.
it was real fun to do that. So it was really like kind of you could think of some ideas that aren't really like these big costs and big to-dos, like the little video clips and the earrings. Like, there's a lot of things you can do to celebrate a milestone that's not a big, like, to-do
Yeah,
or
not a
gonna
lot of
cost a
investment.
lot. Yeah, or even take a lot of time. So, I did kind of go a little bit overboard because it was our 15 year and lots of other things going on, but we printed an anniversary bag, so a shopping bag. We usually have our insulated shopping bags, but we printed a canvas bag with a nice piece of local art. This local artist drew a picture a long time ago of the market. That's just wonderful. So
Yeah, it's a sweet four-color drawing, but
yeah,
it's beautiful the way she did it. So we printed those on nice canvas bags with a zipper.
yeah,
And we've been promoting that you can buy an anniversary bag as a limited edition. We're only going to order it once, and
yep.
people are really excited about it. There's a lot of folks buying those bags.
Yeah, so you kinda make it like, "Ooh, you better get it now," and so they're really happy to have that bag, so we sold those bags, and then
And actually, that was my favorite gift. Like, we had a few vendors that handed me really sweet gifts. Art of
Mhm.
MVP made me a cutting board that's engraved, and our honey folks, of course, loaded me up with beautiful honeys as they always do. But one of our team members decided to take the one of the anniversary bags out, and there's art on one side, it's blank on the other side. She took it out and started having vendors sign it to give me a bag that was signed by all the vendors, and they got so into it and got so creative that some of them did drawings on there, or they did calligraphy, and they wrote longer messages, and she ended up having to take 3 bags out to get them all because they got excited about signing it. It was fun, and I was so excited to get it. I have taken one or another of those bags everywhere I've gone since then. I took it to the International Public Market Conference in Toronto as my travel bag, and so many people at that conference that were involved with markets commented on it and what a sweet idea it was and how they might want to use that for some milestone at their market. So it was really fun. It was very touching too.
Yeah, so that's a really great kind of easy again, if you have any kind of bag or you just wanna print some cheap blank bags and have the vendors sign it, even if you're not maybe gonna sign it for a particular market manager, like, say, if you're part of a group or something, but they can just write, "Happy anniversary to the market," and then maybe you get it framed or you kinda have it hanging in your booth, so it's just something nice that you can get the vendors like, making it clear that the market is the vendors and the farmers. It is this
Absolutely.
big family, so it was really sweet.
And we did do something with the vendors. We've almost always done T-shirts on various anniversaries or at holiday times and passed them out to the vendors. We've got vendors that have been there a really long time that have kind of a big collection of vintage T-shirts because we changed the design each time. But this time we gave the vendors really cute market branded fanny packs, and everybody seemed to get a really big kick out of it.
That was great. Yeah, they loved that because that's so handy because 'cause you're just walking around, you can stick your phone in there or your cash or your Square reader, and yeah, they were really excited to get those, so that was
Uh-huh.
fun. Yeah.
And like the T-shirts, what's fun about giving your farmers and vendors something that's branded with your logo or your market name is a lot of markets don't do that, so they get so excited they'll wear them everywhere, including to other markets and other events. So you're out there, you're pulling people back. You can write that off as a marketing expense for sure.
Well, so, we had some other celebrations too. Our newest market in Chula Vista was celebrating its 1 year.
That's
Our
right.
little baby
Yeah,
market.
flagship market and our baby market. Yep.
Yeah.
We made a whole month of that. So each week we gave out gifts to the community to thank them for supporting this brand new market in its first year. We did little tiny pots of succulents that one of our vendors brought us. He sells potted plants and succulents. So they were tiny succulent pots. Didn't cost us much. I think he gave us a deal, actually. Thank you, Gonzo. And we put little happy birthday, those little sticks that you can get with the happy birthday writing on them.
Yeah.
Those are so cheap.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but we did go to Amazon because it was just cheap and it was fast, but they're so festive. They look really cool, and honestly, they cost cents per little stick, so that was cool. We did inexpensive canvas bags, a really lightweight canvas bag, but with the logo on it, and we had just rebranded. We were called Third Avenue Village Market, and we had changed it to Chula Vista Farmers Market to just make it really obvious where we were. Same basic logo, but different name, so that was kind of a celebration too. We were celebrating our new branding,
Mhm.
and then we did market pins and buttons, and we did stickers. We gave out packets of seeds that said "Watch us grow" on them. Shout out to Bentley Seeds. We've used them for conferences and for other little swag items, and we just love them. And people are always so excited to get a little packet of wildflower seeds.
Oh, yeah, something cool and easy, and, like, the kids love it. You could do coloring pages. I think Tristan brought some coloring pages out
Yes, we
there
had
for one of
coloring
the
pages, little
weeks.
crayons.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of things you can do to celebrate your market, and you should celebrate your market. I
All the
mean,
time.
that's the point is that this is anniversaries or just special occasions at the market. Celebrate it because sometimes you're dealing with like some not so fun stuff at the market. If you're trying to grow a market and it's hard or you're struggling or you have some buskers that are causing problems or you're having some vendor tensions. It's nice to be able to have a happy day at the market and celebrate something fun and kind of remind everybody that this is a great place to be. It's a fun place to be. We want to celebrate these milestones and remind everyone that you want to keep growing the market and you want to be there for many years to come.
Exactly. And we're all there together and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
It's a party. It's not a chore.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right, that's right, mostly. So we got some great ideas from other markets that celebrated recently as well, which was really fun to see. Our dear friend, Thomasine Johnson, we love her so much, at Farmers Market Partners in Missouri City. For the 4th anniversary, she created a gift card that gave a $4 discount on one $10 purchase with the vendor of their choice. And the vendors collected the cards after the purchase. That is just like such a fun idea. It's
So
so clever.
smart. And you're bringing, especially if it's your first, second, third, fourth, you're still kind of a newish market. That's bringing money straight to the vendors as part of your celebration. So they're happy to participate.
Mhm.
Probably introducing people to some new vendors and farmers they may not have shopped with before because they're excited to go spend their $4. I thought that was really clever.
That's really smart. Yeah, I love that idea. Plus, like, giving it a 4, like, to kind of reiterating how many years you've been there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So cute.
that's fun.
And then Sarah Larson at the Egan Market in Minnesota, she did a 15th anniversary last year and went all out, did a lot of fun things. A happy birthday photo station. See, now I love a photo booth.
Oh, cute. We should have done that.
Yeah,
All right, 20th
absolutely.
anniversary plans.
And you can have such fun. I mean, you don't even have to get the props that you buy from a party store. You can have people holding sunflowers or people holding fruit or I mean, it would so easy to have fun in a photo booth at a farmer's market with some farmer's market goodies.
For sure.
So she did that. She printed balloons with their logo in their market colors. And this is, I thought was super clever. She did a walkthrough for their 15 years. So she set up as sort of a pathway into the market that day, a series of A-frames, and each A-frame had a poster on it that had a photo from the market from that year or information about that year. We added 20 vendors this year, or we changed locations in year 6, or I don't have her specifics, but she spent a lot of time, she said, gathering data to put together this sort of timeline. So you were walking through those 15 years as you went into the market. I mean, I'm just getting misty just talking about it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, how fun would that be?
That would be so fun. And talk about, like, thinking ahead. Like, if you're a brand new market, start collecting that data now. So when it's your big anniversaries, you have all those kind of points just ready to go. That is such a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a year-end meeting where you kind of talk about the highlights of the year. What were the big deals that happened this year? And then
Yeah.
just start yourself a little digital file or a file folder that you drop that into. So when you do get ready to celebrate something, you've got all that information at hand.
Yeah, we've talked about doing an annual review at the end of the year or the end of your fiscal year, or the end of your season, and kind of presenting that information to your board or to the community and to your farmers and vendors. So just kind of keeping a log of that so that when you're celebrating these big anniversaries, you have that information to share because people love to see that. We had a photo album of old photos from the markets past that I kind of shared with a lot of old vendors, and it was really fun to see like their kids when they were 6 scootering around the market when they first started, and now those kids are graduating high school and college, and it's nice to see the growth of the market.
Yeah, so fun. Kids of the market are a whole thing.
Yeah.
So much fun to see.
Love
Plus,
that.
that would add kind of a happy note to your annual review. Sometimes on your
Yeah.
annual review, you're talking about budget struggles or you're talking about staff changes and that kind of thing. If you could also add, hey, what were the coolest things that happened this year?
Yeah.
That'll make that review more fun too.
Balance it out a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
So one of our followers in our private Facebook group, we're picking up some ideas there. She's working on a farm to table dinner for their 15th. Now that would be fun. I've always thought about maybe blocking off our market site at some point, kind of fencing it off and sell tickets and do a farmer and chef pairing kind of dinner and invite the public. You can sell tickets to the public and maybe treat your vendors. So
That would be so fun.
that'd be cool. And then
Yeah.
she's doing a couple of small day of market things like magnets on their vendors' tents who have been there for at least 10 years. And vendors love that.
Cute. We did do that. I think maybe the 5th anniversary, we had little signs that we clipped to all the vendor booths
We
and it
did.
to the vendors that had been there since the beginning, and it said, like, "I planted the seed.
Right.
I've been here since the
Yeah.
beginning."
Those
Yeah.
were so sweet. Those are
Yeah.
the sweetest signs.
Yeah.
And then we've done T-shirts for a lot of occasions, and I think maybe also for the 5th anniversary, one of our anniversaries, we had, a market logo, graphic design on the front that said celebrating 5 years or 10 years, whatever it was. But then on the back, we had just a list of all the vendors that were at the market at that time, at that point in time. But the vendors that had been there from the very beginning were highlighted in a different color ink. So
Mhm.
you could look at that whole list and see the folks that have been there for a long time.
And that was fun. It was fun to see how many folks had been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just the new, people had joined just a couple weeks
Right.
prior, but they are on the T-shirt, and that was
They're
really
pretty
fun.
excited.
Yeah.
It was funny.
And then Stacy DeShazer of the Contra Costa Certified Farmers Market, also a good friend of ours, made a full day of it for their 30th anniversary.
I mean, 30 is a big deal.
Oh my gosh, such a big deal.
In fact, I think this was a few years back she was telling us about, and they're actually coming up on their 40th pretty soon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love these older markets, like the celebrations you can do there because people have probably been coming there. There's probably customers that have been coming there the whole
Yeah.
time, just locals that live in the neighborhood. So how fun is that?
And talk about kids, you'll have people coming that came to the market first as kids with their parents, and now they can bring their own kids back. I mean, 40 years is a long time.
Oh
That
my
covers a couple
gosh.
generations.
I want to see those A-frame photos for that market. So she had a kid zone, petting zoo, cooking demos, photo booth, and a big sheet cake. And she did say something about that sheet cake. She said, so much slicing. She wished she had done cupcakes.
Yeah, so
So
I think cupcakes might be a better idea.
pro tip for everyone planning celebrations, cupcakes. Love that idea.
Go with the cupcakes.
Yeah, little
Absolutely.
donut
You can have a
holes.
little cake.
Yeah.
Like when you do a wedding and you've got, the fancy little cake, but then you've got the big cake that you pass out. You can do a little cake that said happy birthday on it or happy anniversary, but then pass out the cupcakes.
Yeah. That's a good tip. And then definitely we want to include your vendors in this celebration, giving them a t-shirt or a fanny pack or a water bottle or sign for their booth that just gets them really excited to participate. All the things that we've kind of talked about that we've done for our vendors. Just make sure that you include them in the celebration. I think they felt really included when we had passed a bag around and asked them to sign it. It was like, oh, it's not just the staff celebrating
Right.
the market and
Give
Cat.
them the little gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I think that's important. The Mill City Farmers Market also did a commemorative T-shirt for their 10th for vendors and also to sell to shoppers. And,
Mhm.
that's a good point to remember. We do that too. Oftentimes when we print T-shirts, we'll print T-shirts that we're giving to the vendors as a gift to celebrate that anniversary or that milestone, that holiday. And then we print the same shirt. We usually have a pun or, something that changes up each time in our shirts. We print the same shirt, but in another color. So you're special if you're a vendor. Only a vendor can wear that color shirt, but the same shirt in a different color, we will print extras of those and then sell those at our welcome booth. So that mitigates the cost because if you've got a large market, especially, or if you've got a small market, your budget is probably not as big as a large market. That printing of shirts can add up. It's not a crazy big cost. And if you just plan it at the first of the year as part of your budget, amortize it over how many markets you have, you're not spending much, but it's a little chunk of change to print t-shirts. So if you can sell them to the public as well, a lot of times you can mitigate that cost. You obviously sell them for, twice what it costs to print them, and then you make up for the ones you used as gifts.
And shoppers get excited about having a
They love
t-shirt
it.
to represent their market. And you could also get a sponsor for that too.
Sure.
Put a little sponsor logo on the sleeve or on the back to kind of really, just be neutral in the cost for
Yeah,
a
exactly.
t-shirt like
Cover the
that.
printing cost
Mhm.
for sure. And anniversaries and things are a good time too to do your vendor party. So we try to do for years we did a vendor party at least once a year. COVID, of course, kind of cut that short, but we've been back. We've done a little bit more casual party the last couple of years, and it's probably time to start planning the one for this year. But anytime you've got a milestone or just your annual anniversary thing, it's really fun to get the vendors together, give them a chance to actually talk to each other because during the market, they're stuck in their booths. This gives them the chance. You can maybe think about an adult beverage and some pizza, or it doesn't have to be real expensive. A lot of times you can get your neighboring businesses to chip in and donate some of the food because that those vendors are out there catching lunch or a beverage or something after the market before they head home. But vendors love to get together and actually get to talk to each other as opposed to being stuck in their booths and only talking to shoppers.
Yeah, they love it. I know we've done like whole episodes on doing vendor parties and things like that. And it's just always such a fun time. And It's nice for the vendors to get to know the staff better too, because maybe
Right.
they don't know everybody on the staff very well and they're stuck in their booth on the first block, but then there's the third block and they don't get to know those vendors. So it's a really great time and they can bring their kids and their families and things and just kind of build a better team.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So there's other things you can celebrate.
Mhm.
If you have to change location, okay, that's a terrible hassle. Nobody wants to change location, but if you make a party out of it or do a commemorative thing about how exciting this new location is, you can really change the tone, change the attitude of the folks going through that.
Yeah, for sure. If you have a longtime vendor or a manager that's retiring, that's a good time to have a celebration and just say thank you and, celebrate whoever's moving on and kind of make it a happy thing instead of a sad goodbye.
Yeah, we saw I think it was Mill City again. They did a scrapbook that the team members and the vendors signed for this farmer that was retiring after being with them for many, many years, and that would be really sweet.
Oh, I love
I've
that.
always threatened to do a yearbook. I've
Oh,
always talked about that for our big anniversaries at our big market. I mean, think how fun it would be. You could do by class, like, you could look at when each vendor started and do class of 2020, class of 2017, and then if all the vendors and farmers had them, you could have a party where they signed them. We
oh
could all,
my
like,
gosh.
flip back to high school.
Sounds like a lot of work. This sounds like something of someone who had been keeping track of data better.
Oh,
Do as we say, not as we do. But
that's right.
that's a fun thing to do. I love that because then people can see each other too. That's kind of like the vendor party. They get to know each other better,
Right.
if you can see their faces and what their business is. Just because we're so hustling and bustling, sometimes it's hard to keep track of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a really fun thing.
Yeah. Opening a new section or block or area of your market is a great time to celebrate and just kind of say, "Oh, like watch us grow. Here we grow."
I love
Things.
that.
Yeah.
We grow community.
We grow communities. You could do the little succulent handout things during that time. I mean, there's a lot of fun ways that you can celebrate the growth of a market for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're in California, pass out those citrus. Say, "Orange, you glad you have a farmer's market in your neighborhood?"
But bum. So many ways to celebrate.
So by the time you add in holidays and milestones, you pretty much should be throwing a party at the market every day, every week.
Every day's a party.
So fun.
But also make sure that you have the bandwidth to do it.
Yeah.
Self-care. If you don't have time to celebrate, it's okay. If you have an anniversary coming up and you're very busy, you can just make an Instagram post and say, "Hey, comment with your favorite thing about the market."
Sure.
And that's all you
Yeah,
need to
keep it simple.
do. You can have one balloon at your booth. It's not a big deal.
It really is the thought that counts.
It really
It's
is the
just
thought and just acknowledgement of it that counts.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes everybody happy.
Yeah, it was a lot of work to do that 15-year anniversary and it
I
stressed me out,
know.
okay? So
But thank you.
I'm happy you're welcome. I'm happy we did it, but it was a lot of work. So I understand if it's just too much, especially if you're like a one-person show and you're just kind of running it by yourself or you have volunteers that aren't really necessarily going to help you on the offsite hours putting things together. It's okay to just make an announcement, bring a bullhorn and just say happy anniversary at the market and call it a day. It's
That's it.
fine. So many things. And speaking of celebrating, National Farmers Market Week is coming
Oh,
up.
that's
It
right.
sneaks up on me every single year, even though I know when it's coming. This year, it's always the first week of August. So it's August 6th through the 12th. 2023. We're going to celebrate National Farmers Market Week. There are so many ways to celebrate and tips and tools and tricks at farmersmarketcoalition.org. They have some really great information for how to celebrate National Farmers Market Week at your market. We have a lot of back episodes.
We'll throw that out soon on an upcoming episode. We'll remind you of the old episodes about Farmers Market Week.
Yes, for sure. And then we are going to ask our listeners to send us voice memos so we can compile those together, telling us what you're doing for National Farmers Market Week this year. So I want to hear what everyone's doing in their part of the country and how you're going to celebrate it. So we'll get that out in a newsletter and post it in our Facebook community group. So if you want to tell us what you're planning for Farmers Market Week, please give us some ideas.
Yeah, that'll be great. I
Yeah.
love those episodes where we get a whole bunch of our listeners and followers to call in.
Yeah, that's
It's the
awesome.
best.
So that'll be the next big celebration for sure. And if you have any milestones that you're celebrating, please share with us in our Facebook community, or you can message us on Instagram or tag us in your posts at Farmers Market Pros on Instagram. And
That'd be fun. Let's see some pictures of those celebrations.
yeah, definitely. I love to see what other people are doing at their markets. So great. Thanks so much.
Thanks for celebrating with us every week on Tent Talk. Today's episode of Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast, is supported by Yifty. We appreciate them for creating and managing custom gift cards that keep loyal shoppers coming back to your markets, and for supporting Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast. To create your market card program, Click the Yifty logo on the resource page at farmersmarketpros.com.
Thanks for listening to Tent Talk today. Please leave us a review on your podcast app or wherever you listen to Tent Talk. Let us and others know how you're enjoying the podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of Tent Talk. Connect with fellow Farmers Market folks in our private Facebook group, the Farmers Market Pros Community. Follow us on Instagram at Farmers Market Pros and find online education and other resources on our website at farmersmarketpros.com. Tent Talk is brought to you by Farmers Market Pros, where passion meets profit. Tent Talk is produced by Haley Pascalades with original music by David Mead. Thank you so much for listening today, and tune in next week for another great episode.